Hello, everyone. It's another episode of the PValley podcast, and it finally happened. I finally found a celeb pop culture story that I want to cover. I consider myself a Bennifer historian, and I also know quite a bit about Jennifer Lopez. So I am happy to get into it. I'm going to be reading an article excerpt from People magazine, some funny tweets. I will be getting into Jennifer Lopez allegedly sleeping her way to the top. I will be talking about her magical, mystical vagina, the history of Bennifer, and then I'm going to read some messy tweets before I give my 2 cents on codependency, because Jennifer Lopez is one of the most textbook codependent people in Hollywood that we all know of. So she is a perfect example of a codependent person. I want to talk about codependency and how toxic that could be. And lastly, I will be talking about nostalgia, because obviously seeing Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck together is as nostalgic as it gets. So let's get the hell into it. So this was in People magazine on its website. It read the following: Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, who were engaged for 2 years before splitting in 2004, were spotted spending time together at her Los Angeles home on Friday, more than 17 years after their breakup. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez remain connected. Quote, "They are friends," another source told People on Friday. Quote, "They have always been friends, and they have seen each other through the years," end quote. The problem with someone claiming that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez spending time together because they're just these frenzies that we didn't know of. The problem with, and I never say frenzies, that was a first. The problem with that is that we would have already heard stories if they were hanging out together for the past 17 years. It would not be a headline everywhere. And having a source say that they have seen each other through the years, they're both A-list. They're both in Hollywood. They're both going to the same events. They've always been friends, and they've seen each other through the years. Yeah, at work events, at work parties. Sorry, that excuse is so incredibly weak. And a lot of people believe that Ben Affleck and JLo have incredible PR, and this was all strategic and on purpose. And of course I believe that, because with the pandemic, the paparazzi, they really don't know where to be and when, because not as many people are out and about. So it's someone connected to them, that to a celebrity now more than ever, that has to contact the paparazzi so that the paparazzi can take photos. And on top of that, this story broke on Friday. Friday is the birthday of Ben Affleck's ex-girlfriend, Ana de Armas. Now, Ana is stunning. I think she's beautiful. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's incredibly talented. She is young. Ben Affleck is pushing 50. This is what some men do. They believe, let me get this young, hot girl to invest all of her youth into my aging ass. Anna is too hot. She's too much of an up-and-comer. She's way too poppin' and sexy to be with a man with 3 kids who's old enough to be her father. she should be out here doing her thing. And so she dumped Ben. Ben was pissed. He was seen throwing out this cardboard cutout that he had of her on her lawn. And I think it was completely strategic for him to have this story leak on her birthday. But guess what? Anna has been done, probably already had her fair share of fun since their breakup. She's good. She's good. I don't think she's tripping, Ben. So now let me get into some of the tweets. I'm going to call them tweets, but they were actually comments that were left on a message board. I'm going to read my favorite ones about Bennifer 2021 2.0. The first one said, I need another Bennifer music video. This time I want JLo playing with his ass. The Jenny from the Block music video is incredibly epic. If you have not watched it, please make sure you watch the video. It is incredible. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of love for JLo's booty. She looks amazing per usual. Okay, the next comment said, this is the dumbest drama ever, but I want it so much. Same girl, same. Next one, quote, if I was rich, hot, and recently single, I absolutely would summon my fave exes to my mansion. Laugh my ass off. Next comment. Not me seeing this news and immediately putting on Jenny from the Block and bopping along to it while reading these comments in my old age. I have not returned to the song or the video since the story broke, but I need to. I really do. Next comment. God, I need him kissing her ass on a boat again. Same. Same. I mean, when I watched Ben Affleck with JLo's butt, I was like, please do everything I would do with JLo's butt in a music video. So thank you, Ben. Shout out to Ben. He probably made so many men jealous and so many women with no ass at all envious. I respect it. Next comment. Still blows my mind whenever I hear Ben speak Spanish. If I remember correctly, he was all over her that she was the reason he learned Spanish, even though hers sucks. And somebody else said, I thought both him and Casey lived in Mexico and learned Spanish as children. So, Ben Affleck is bilingual, apparently. And JLo, she tries to be bilingual, but she's certainly not a native Spanish speaker. And apparently Ben speaks it better than her ass. That's great. I didn't know. Next comment. At first, I was like, girl, no. Then I thought, no. JLo's messy decisions will give me something to live for, and she can go to therapy later. I will be talking about the codependency, as I said. That Jenny Dunn circled the block. Yes, that tweet deserved to be at the top. It was great. Now I'm going to get into some JLo history, because Jennifer Lopez allegedly slept her way to the top, and that's how she got into the entertainment industry, allegedly. I was told by two different people who live in Miami/Florida that you could really be asking around and you will run into somebody who fucked JLo, who fucked Jennifer, because that's how she broke into the industry, allegedly. So that, of course, is a bit of hearsay. I I wholeheartedly believe it, especially how they explain that they know people who fucked her. But the biggest piece of evidence that Jennifer Lopez slept her way to the top comes from an interview that Suge Knight did with Howard Stern, in which Suge Knight said that he had seen the Jennifer Lopez sex tape. So she allegedly has a sex tape, and the story came out. It never really made its way to the internets for people like you and myself, because clearly, I'll speak for myself, I would watch. I would be watching. I would have it on a big screen projector. I want to take notes, right? I want to take notes. So Suge Knight said that in the video, Jennifer Lopez is fucking, no, this was his quote. He's like, she's doing guys, she's doing girls, she's doing guys and girls at the same time. I had to pause, right? That revelation is worthy of a pause. I'm gonna bring it back. Suge Knight said in Jennifer Lopez's sex tape, she is having sex with guys, girls, guys and girls at the same time. That is why I would put this tape on a projector and enjoy it. JLo has skills, okay? And she did what she had to do, and it paid off. I'm not recommending this, right? If you want to be the next JLo, sleeping your way to the top has not worked for millions and millions and millions of people. I wouldn't recommend it. But when it comes to Jenny, apparently she's down for fucking men, fucking women, fucking them both at the same time. And the reason why you know that she is a bad bitch in bed is because of the trail of tears that Jennifer Lopez leaves behind her, is how you know that she is mind blowing in bed. So Jennifer dated Diddy. And what happened after they split is he couldn't stop talking about her. He couldn't stop singing about her. He couldn't stop talking about how in love with her he was, how great she was. It was gross. It was like, I was grossed out. I was grossed out because Jennifer is gorgeous and Diddy not so much. And I personally always felt like she dated Diddy for clout. And it works. It got her a lot of coverage. The way that Diddy was obsessed with her lets him know that she knows how to get down in bed. The other reason why I know Jennifer is amazing in bed is because Ben Affleck said she's great in bed. I listened to his interview that he did with Howard Stern. He said she's incredible. And there's nothing wrong with your man saying that you know how to get down, that you're good. I don't find that disrespectful at all. It's disrespectful if they give comments, and it's disrespectful if they objectify you. But he was on Howard Stern, so naturally he's going to be asked. And he said about JLo and Ben, he said that she's incredible. Absolutely. Like, you just got it seemed like she was the best lover he had, or one of the best, just by the way that he answered the question, his tone, and all that. She's really, really great in bed. And Ben Affleck was actually very respectful of Jennifer, because apparently, if you watch the movie Molly's Game, which I love, and I really want to read the book, Ben Affleck was actually one of the players in the movie, and or I don't think it was in the movie, but in real life. And people would ask him about Jennifer Lopez and ask him about her ass, like how's her ass and this and the other, and he just would refuse to comment on it. So that was very respectful of him. So yeah, right now we're 2 for 2, right? Diddy said bitches, or Diddy's obsession with her it suggests to me that Jennifer is great in bed. Ben Affleck said she's great in bed. Then let's move on to Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony wanted to reconcile with Jennifer when Jennifer was dating Casper, possible clout chaser, nobody dancer, and Jennifer turned down Mark when he wanted to reconcile after they split, and Mark was shocked apparently because he was like, I just thought you were having fun. I didn't know it was that serious. But Jennifer had some serious feelings for Casper. Okay, girl, okay. Um, so Mark Anthony wanted to reconcile. So now we're 3 for 3. Diddy wanted her back. Ben Affleck said she was great in bed. Mark Anthony wanted to reconcile. Then let's move on to Alex Rodriguez. So A-Rod, when him and Jennifer split recently, he was playing Coldplay's song Fix You, a sad song, while spanning or taking his phone and having the camera span photos of JLo. And here's what I gotta say. Let me side note a little bit. I never liked Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod together, simply because it always seemed like A-Rod was so obsessed with Jennifer, and Jennifer always seemed like she was just there. Jen never seemed like she was that into A-Rod. And I think because A-Rod was such a great hype man for Jennifer, people just loved them together. But I was like, it felt one-sided to me, and I wasn't surprised by their split. I do believe A-Rod possibly cheating or flirting was the catalyst for the split, but I feel like the split was in Jennifer's best interest because she just never seemed that into him. And I'm not one of those people who is like, after something happens, you know how a lot of people like, well, he seemed shady, she seemed shady. Like, I'm not one of those people who just say that after the fact. I always felt that way, and I said it while they were together. I'd be like, I don't see it. I think he fangirls her, he records her performances, he's so into her, but I just didn't see her sharing the same enthusiasm for him. And I did not know they were together for 4 years. So I'm surprised. I'm really surprised it was that long. So we got Diddy being obsessed. We got Ben Affleck saying the pussy is great. We got Mark Anthony wanting to reconcile. We got A-Rod playing Coldplay and being sad about their split and really trying to make it work. And we got Suge Knight, who said she fucking dude, she fucking girl, she fucking dudes and girls same time. She knows how to get down. And it's like, Jennifer Lopez, you are not too famous to start an OnlyFans, okay? I know you got kids. But if you start an OnlyFans and just, I don't know, cover your face up, do some tutorials on what you do, then I will be a subscriber. I will, and I won't care what your monthly fee is. Now let's go to Bennifer. The history of Bennifer. I'm not going to get into, everything about Bennifer. Basically, Jennifer and Ben dated from 2002 to 2004. They called off their wedding one day before it was scheduled in 2003 because the paparazzi, or just the press hysteria surrounding their wedding, made them nervous. They were considering hiring 3 fake or Jennifer impersonators to throw off the paparazzi, and they were like, let's just cancel this. This is too much. So they canceled the wedding and they split in 2004. Now, I loved Jennifer and Ben because they're 2 good-looking people. Now, I don't think Ben Affleck is the hottest, but he's definitely easy on the eyes. I find him handsome. On their own, they are 2 beautiful people, and they are 2 beautiful people together. They are just a hot couple. One of the things that bothers me the most is when you see a hot woman with an ugly guy. And that's usually how you see it. You don't see a gorgeous man with an ugly woman. It's typically the other way around. Hot girl, ugly ass motherfucker. And women will do that. Women will date ugly men or date down for endless reasons, truthfully. Anything from the ugly guy is nicer to them than the hot guys, the ugly guy has money, the ugly guy's sex game is good. It's really great personality. He makes them laugh. I mean, women have their reasons for this, but I don't like it whenever a hot woman is with an ugly guy, because she's making it harder on us women who are not trying to be with ugly ass motherfuckers. Like, every time an ugly guy tries to holler at you, it's because there was a bad bitch that he's seen with some ugly guy. And he was like, you know what? I have a chance too. And so I just want to say fuck you to all those bitches right now whose men are fucking ugly. Do better. Okay? And then you have those women where the man is not cute. Right? He's not cute and he's not treating them well. Okay? Mississippi, M-I, cricket letter I, cricket letter I, humpback, I. I'm talking to you, bitch. I'm talking to you. Mississippi is a character on PValley, for those of you who don't watch the show, and her boyfriend is not even cute. She's a bad bitch and he's not even cute, and it's like, I can't. It's too much. What is he bringing to the table? So it's like, if your man is ugly, at least make sure he's rich and doing something, treating you like a queen, even if he isn't rich. But if he's ugly and an asshole, get to a therapist. Okay, start with Talkspace, like all these other podcasts like to mention. Start there and just work your way up, fixing your issues. So, and these tweets are basically saying, Jenny from the cock, you need to get off of the cock. That's what I just said right now. Nobody tweeted that bullshit. All right. The very first comment says, she is referring to Jennifer Lopez. She is a mess and a half. I'm side-eyeing the fuck out of her because there are kids involved. Like, how do you even explain this to the kids? Especially since A-Rod's kids and her kids got so well along. Okay. Got along so well together. Even without the engagement, they were already a blended family. Girl is shameless and really can't stand to be alone because, as pretty as she has her insecurities, and her brand is being the girl all the guys want and all the girls want to look like. Mess. It's actually sad when women or men can't go 5 minutes without being with someone. Heal your wounds and be alone for a while. She's either profoundly codependent or a narcissist who can't go 2 minutes without supply to their ego, or both. I have noticed that Jennifer Lopez Jenny from the cock jumps from cock to cock, bed to bed, relationship to relationship. And she's just the textbook example of somebody who's codependent. When it was announced that Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez broke up, I said, I cannot wait to find out who she's with next, and I know it will be very soon. And I knew that just because that has been her history. And I was expecting it to take a little bit longer because we're still in a pandemic. And just because this was another broken engagement for her, I was like, maybe she'll take a little bit more time. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. So we all know people that are codependent. And unfortunately, I feel like there aren't enough discussions about people who are or there aren't enough discussions about codependency. It isn't cute, it's toxic. It's not harmless, it's harmful. When you are jumping from person to person, or in Jennifer's case, serious monogamous relationship to serial monogamous relationship, you're trying to fill a void and fill a hole, and your focus is on putting someone in that empty space that now exists, that didn't exist previously, and therefore anyone will do in many respects, because your goal is just to not be alone. So you're using people, you're wasting their time, you're wasting your time, you're not in you're not truly in love, you're not truly connecting with people, when all you want is that somebody to just fill that void. And so codependent people use people. When you date somebody codependent, they don't give a fuck about you. You're just there to make them feel less alone, because they don't understand what it's like to be alone, because they've never been alone. Because whenever they have been out of a relationship, they have made sure to usher someone in ASAP, before they could even really sit with themselves and get to know themselves and get to know what they want and get to know what they want long term. With Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck has addiction issues. She has 2 young children. Why get into that? And of course, they're probably just harmlessly fucking. Jennifer said that Ben Affleck is the love of her life. And I do not doubt for a second that their relationship was very strong and solid and real, and she was twerking on the dick, doing whatever it is that made Ben say she's incredible in bed. I think that they were great, and if they're together forever, that's wonderful. However, I don't feel like JLo is the wifey type. Because of her codependent issues and because of her penchant for jumping from cock to cock and not being alone, I feel that maybe she makes sure that her relationships end so that she's not left alone, so that she could jump into something else, because she just doesn't seem to really care for longevity. And I know that I don't know her personally. I hate it when people speak about celebrities like they know them personally. I don't know her personally. I have seen Jennifer in person. She is stunning in person. She's flawless, skin, incredible, body, obviously great. I think she's very pretty, as I said earlier, but that has nothing to do with the fact that she does not allow herself to be alone. And I think that none of us should look at anyone, famous or not, who jumps from something serious to something serious. This woman just collects engagement rings left and right, then she's out the door. And I don't think we should look at anyone who does that as normal. It doesn't seem normal. It makes me wonder if Jennifer has ever had therapy, or if she ever wants therapy. It makes me wonder about who she really believes that she is, and her place in this world, and her role as just a being by herself. And as someone who is now a mother, her kids are like 12, 13 years old. Honey, girlfriend, like, focus on your kids, focus on your career, date, have fun, fuck, whatever. But she just immerses herself in these serious, monogamous, committed, headed towards engagement relationships time and time again. And it is just fascinating to me that I'm not so sure she thinks there's anything wrong with it. Love is great, and she could be a love addict. She could also be a textbook love addict, but whether she clearly is codependent. She's codependent and possibly a love addict. Whatever her issues are, these are just what I am saying as an observer who has seen her but does not have any type of personal relationship with her. I wonder, who is Jennifer, and why does she feel the need to have a serious man or have a serious relationship at all times, every hour of the day, every day of her life. Or is Jennifer and Ben fucking? Of course. That's allegedly, whatever. I'm gonna say allegedly. Of course. What is he doing with her ass right now? I mean, I don't mean that in the literal sense, but what would he be at her fucking house for if they ain't fucking? When he talked about her sex game and she said he was the love of her life, what else are they doing? Are they playing cards, a Monopoly, ordering Postmates and watching Netflix? Like, they are fucking, and that's their business. Great. I would stand these two. I could say it right now. I would stand these two if they reconciled. However, the bigger issue here is Jennifer's codependency, and I feel that dating Ben, or the man after Ben, or the 420 people after him, it's just putting a band-aid on a broken arm. And I feel like she doesn't really understand that happiness comes from within. And maybe part of the reasons why she loves being in a relationship is because she truthfully loves the dick, loves having sex. Whatever is going on, whether it's codependency, love addiction, sex addiction, whatever Jennifer has going on, she has some issues. She's broken in some ways, and it would be nice if she found her forever after, whether that be with another individual or by herself, because something in the water ain't clean. Someone posted a comment, said there's a lot of money in the nostalgia industry, yo. And I couldn't agree more. The tabloids never want to stop claiming that Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt are getting back together, which I would love because she lost her man to an alleged homewrecker. But with Jennifer and Ben, again, like I said, these are two good-looking people who are talented. He's probably incredibly fun to be around. He seems pretty dope. I read this story about how he took photos of himself vomiting and he gave it to a maid, and he was like, please sell this to the paparazzi and you'll make like 35,000 or 50,000, because he thought she was underpaid as a hotel maid. That's dope. And the dumb bitch did not do it, but I think that's so great that he was trying to look out for this maid. And I think he's great. Like, they're both probably fun. Both probably great people on their own, but together long term, I see #doom.com here. But the nostalgia is very fun and amazing, and I think that Hollywood is a little too obsessed with nostalgia, but I feel like we all stand a couple coming back together after a long break, because we've seen it work so many times for so many people. So it's possible. It is possible. But with these two, no, just have fun fucking it out. And JLo, my gosh, girl, you are so consistent with hopping from dick to dick, Jenny from the cock, serious relationship, engagement to engagement, marriage to engagement to, like, girl, wow. Wow, like, woo. I hope you find whatever it is you are looking for. So I usually speed up these episodes a bit. I speed up the audio because I feel like I talk slowly, but I feel like I wasn't really talking slowly in this episode, especially towards the end. That's how passionate I am about this, apparently, or I just know too much. My gosh, I know too much about these people. So anyways, thank you for listening. All you new listeners, do what you gotta do. Subscribe. I This podcast is for PValley and PValley fans, but that does not mean that I will not be hopping on this mic to talk about some celebrity stories. As I said in a previous episode, it's going to take a while for PValley to come back on, so I will be covering pop culture. Some pop culture stories, and if you ever want me to cover something, please DM me and I will see if I could definitely make the time to do that if it's a story that I'm interested in. Thank you again. Please rate on Apple 5 stars. Keep me 5 stars, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening.